What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for the extended cut of Spider-Man Far From Home. Got back from the theater, saw the movie second time for the extended cut. Well, now, I'm not going to do my usual thing where I give you guys the plot synopsis, tell you the movie, directed, and all that stuff. I already did all that stuff when I did with my original review of Far From Home. So you want to know, so if you want to see my original Far From Home review, where I go a lot more in depth than I will here, check this out. This video will also contain major spoilers, so if you want a spoiler-free review, my spoiler-free thoughts of Far From Home, you can check out my original review, which I will, hopefully, if I remember, I will put up in the iCards, but for you guys that haven't seen yet. So let's just go through this. Would I recommend you guys, let me just answer this first, would I recommend you guys check out the extended cut of Far From Home if you have not seen Far From Home yet, then this is obviously a perfect opportunity for you guys to check it out. Definitely would recommend it if you're that. Now, if you're someone who has already seen the movie, would I recommend this that you guys go out your way to watch this movie a second time, if it is still going to be airing, if it is still going to be going post-Labor Day, because I don't know if it's going to be just like it's going to end today on Labor Day, after that it's going to just be out of theaters, or they're going to keep going a little bit longer, kind of like what they did with Endgame. That all depends on who you are and what you thought of Far From Home. If you're someone that didn't, if you're someone that like Alex from High Top Films, or the people that have not been fans of the MCU's version or interpretation of Peter, you weren't a big fan of the movie, the extended cut will not change your mind. This isn't like the ultimate cut for BVS, which apparently it fixed a lot of problems people had with that movie and overall made a lot better spirits, to the point where everyone's like looking at Warner Bros. Like, why didn't you just release this version instead of that theatrical cut? It ain't like that. It's just a bunch of extra scenes that, what I will say, did add to the movie, and I did think they made the movie a little bit better, but it's not going to radically change the movie or make it better if you're someone that didn't like the movie. If you're someone who did enjoy the movie, would I recommend you guys check it out? That all depends, because there's about 4 minutes of extra stuff. They're really not major stuff, except for like one scene that I like that they added, that they put back in there, that I also think should have been cut at all. That all depends on you. If you're someone like me who absolutely loved Spider-Man Far From Home, then you probably have already catched it, because if you're like someone like me, a math sucker that'll watch anything with Marvel's name on it. If it has you'll watch the extended cuts for every movie if they do this for all of them. I don't know if this will become a thing where for every Marvel movie they'll release an extended cut like a few months later to give it some extra money. I don't know if they'll do that. A part of me doesn't want that to happen because I don't want to, because then that more time I'm probably going to go catch extended cuts from then other movies I should be watching. But at the same time, I don't really mind it because, hey, I get to watch the movies I love more Marvel. I get to watch Marvel movies I already love with extended scenes in the theater. So, I don't really care either way. I wouldn't mind it, but whatever. So, and I was wondering, and some people were like, there was this one guy on Twitter that was like, oh, will this movie save the Sony Marvel deal? It probably won't. Let's not get crazy here. I don't know if this does well. I don't know if this will make Sony and Disney get their heads out of their asses and finally be able to strike it. I think they will strike a deal eventually. I think they will eventually strike a deal, and we'll have Sony back in the MCU, and we'll go back to business as usual, because honestly, it's better if they do than keep them separate like this. And who knows, maybe this will be a better deal where we can have Venom appear in the MCU movies, and vice versa. We'll have to wait and see. Well, it's a wait and see game for this. I think they'll eventually come to a deal. Hopefully they will. But, So, anyway, yeah, it also depends on who you are and what you thought from it. If you're someone that absolutely loved the movie and you would love to see more scenes, hey, here you go. If you're someone that wasn't actually thought the movie was good, but I wouldn't, it's not so big where I say all of you need to run out and go catch it. For most of you, you can probably just wait till the Blu-ray comes out and you can watch it then. Because really, all the scenes were added in the beginning part of the movie. So, got this article right here of all the scenes that were added, so let me just talk about them right quick, what I thought about them, and we'll just go from there. So, we started this out with the first thing we saw was Peter going for his passport. We started up with Peter doing his to-do list for his event travels, but the first thing he goes, we see him go over to they also talk about some stuff about the crime syndicate, which was the stuff that we saw in the first trailer with him in the Iron Spider suit that wasn't in the main movie. That whole stuff was added right back here into the extended cut. They talk about that with Ned. We then first see him go over to the post office to grab his passport. The thing isn't open, so he actually has the spider drone in his bag, which looks really cool. Has it open, and then he's like, hey, I'm here to get my passport, and then this woman just being like, really, motherfucker? I'm out here on my break and you pull this shit, that was some funny stuff. The best part was definitely, so then he heads over to the deli And once he gets over there, he tries to ask for the he gets his toothpaste, his toothbrush, and everything that we saw in the movie as well as the materials. New stuff we have was him asking for the headphone adapter. He asked the owner of the shop in Spanish. I don't remember what he said. He doesn't end up doing. I forget if he actually got it right or not. But anyway, the dude's like, nah. He corrects himself what it actually is in Spanish, and he's like, that's exactly what I said, like word for word. So anyway, he hands it over to him, and the next scene. This one was actually, this one I love. This one I thought was great. I honestly don't know why they cut it from the movie. And I actually kind of knew about the scene being cut because Xavier, aka Godzilla Mendoza, he mentioned on Twitter about this scene they cut of like Peter has to sold his Star Wars toy so he has the money to get the necklace for MJ, which he got in, Venice? Venice, I think that's when he got it to get her to her. And that scene was brought in here. So you see him pull out his toys, and he goes over to this, I think it was a pawn shop or something. He goes over to sell them, and, and the dude's like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I want to get the stuff for Precious Girl, and he's like, I hope she's worth it. So then there's this one toy, he's like, hey, so can I keep that one? He gets that one. So that was a nice little scene to show up Peter's money troubles, which, if there's one thing I do like about this movie that I honestly don't know why they cut this scene, it shows up because, we haven't really seen much of Peter's problems in the MCU. Now, sure, Far From Home was all about, Peter struggling to, be Spider-Man as well as trying to just, try to get over at his ways grieving. I know a lot of people didn't like the way Peter grieved in this movie, they were he's all over trying to get in with MJ and everything, and people were and all this, which I can understand, but at the same time, people grieve another way. What was that dude's name? Channel Pop, I think the dude's name is. He did a bunch of videos on, about, yes, respond to iTop Films video on what he thought of Far From Home. I'll put that video up in the iCards above, but you guys check it out. It's a pretty cool video, and I do agree with a lot of Alex's points in there. I can see where he's coming from. I'm someone, you guys know I love Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man, but I can see a lot of his points and why, but I can also see where Pop's going. I kind of agree more with him. Because, people grieve another way. Remember, this movie takes place the day after Endgame. Peter just doesn't want to think about superhero shit for some time. He lost his mentor, his Uncle Ben, if you will. He just wants to get on with MJ, have a fun time on the trip. And yet you got Nick Fury being like, motherfucker, get your ass over here. We need you to take care of these elementals. And he's like, come on, man, I'm trying to enjoy my summer vacation. Fuck your summer vacation. Get your ass over here, put on this night monkey suit. So, I understand, but, but we haven't, but that was that's the whole stuff with Elementals. We haven't really seen much his money problems, which we saw in Spider PS4 with the whole eviction thing. Here we actually see him with him struggling, wanting to sell his toys and everything. I thought this was a nice scene, and this also should have been kept in the movie. I don't know why this scene was cut. And then from there, some of his geek. I'm pretty sure they were mostly Star Wars figures. Let's see what they got. Something to buy her something really nice. We find her, and he says hopefully it works. So then from there we get to and also you guys hear everything else. Got the fan running. It's hot as balls right now. And so from there he goes. We get the whole stuff that was in the trailer with Spider-Man, the Iron Spider suit, going over there to take care of that crime syndicate, and he has something with the cops. Say I'm too busy doing your job, and I'm going to go on vacation. And that's pretty much all the extra footage they had. I was surprised it was only the beginning. I thought they would have had some more stuff, because I heard it was 7 minutes, but this article says it was 4. So, overall, it were just mostly just added to the movie. It doesn't change if you're someone that didn't like Far From Home or just the MCU's overall take on Spidey. This movie won't change your mind. Like I mentioned, this isn't like the ultimate cut for BVS. So, that was all the extra scenes that we had. Overall, I really loved them, especially the whole scene with the crime syndicate as well as Peter selling off his old toys. I thought that was a nice little touch. Honestly, that should have never been cut from the beginning. Honestly don't know why any of these scenes were cut. I mean, they don't really add to the movie, but they don't detract either, so whatever. That's about all the extended stuff there. Overall, I really liked them. Like I mentioned before, I really dug the Crime Syndicate one where Peter's taking out the crime bosses, as well as when he's selling off his toys. The one with selling off his toys is probably my favorite because it shows Peter's money troubles. Let's see. Let me just talk about some other stuff I noticed from watching this movie a second time. One thing I actually looked at when I watched the movie a second time was to see if what was his name? I forget who directs this movie. I want to know if he left any clues beforehand about Mysterio being not, of course, Mysterio lying all the time, or the fact that Nick Fury as well as Maria Hill were both Skrulls. I was wondering if they would, he might have put some subtle hints in the beginning part of the movie before it's revealed. I really didn't know anything from Mysterio, but with Nick Fury, the same thing. All I really noticed from a second time was just Nick Fury is very hard on Peter, or I should say, or whoever the Skrull name is. I forget it. is a lot harder on Peter. Like, he's constantly snapping at him, being like, with the whole stuff with the monkey suit and everything. He's a lot more harder, just a little bit more, I guess, frustrated, angry, which I can kind of see from his perspective, because I don't think he was the one, because I don't think he got blimped out, when the snap happened and everything. So he's probably just like, motherfucker, just duh. He probably doesn't just want to deal with Peter. I thought because he definitely acted a little bit different here with Peter than he did in all the other movies. And then again, there was whole thing with the snap and everything. So, that was kind of like iffy, so that's about 50-50, whether or not that's counted as a clue that, A, this isn't really Nick Fury, this is the Skrull pretending to be Nick Fury. All that stuff. The post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene is the same as they were in the movie. Like I mentioned before, I loved MJ and Peter's relationship in the movie. So fucking cute. I loved it. And with this whole Sony deal, with all the Sony deal falling through, I'm scared if this is where this is going to go, because realistically, what can the movies do? Because Tony has had such a major part of Spider-Man's tenure in the MCU that I also don't know where they could go from here if they do just go Sony exclusive. They can't mention Tony. Then you can't use any of the suits because they're all Stark Tech. You can't mention Tony at all. You can't mention Happy. You can't mention anybody. So it's curious where they're gonna go, especially with that mid-credit scene where we see Peter gets unmasked and is revealed who he truly is. So yeah. Flash, I still fucking despise. I still hate this version of Flash. I mean, before, if you want this to be, I don't buy it for a second. This guy becoming Agent Venom at all. If they'll ever go that route, which I don't know if they will. I already mentioned I loved MJ. Jake Gyllenhaal was great as Mysterio. I love the stuff with Happy. The stuff with the anime was fantastic. What else? Let's see if there's anything else I can talk about. Yeah, I mean, the movies, I still really dug the comedy. I love the soundtrack, which also, one thing I gotta talk about real quick, but just to find out. You guys know about the anime update that Uzumaki is getting, the anime that's going to be airing on Channel. I found out, I saw this art video online from Neverworld, where he was talking about the anime adaptation, where we find out that actually the composer of that series, that miniseries, is actually the same guy that did the soundtrack for Hereditary. And y'all know how much I fucking loved Hereditary, so I'm hyped as hell, even more for Uzumaki, because Hereditary was a fantastic movie, and I just can't wait to see what he does with Uzumaki. So yeah, just a quick little deviation right there about that. So yeah, that's about it. I gotta say, overall, I really dug the extended cut. Most people probably won't say it's worth it because, realistically, this isn't just a cash grab from Sony to get more money out of us for Far From Home. Realistically, that's what it is. So, most of you might not think it's worth it. I honestly probably, if I wasn't such a massive Marvel fanboy, I probably would have said it's worth it. But hey, if you're someone that really loved the movie and you want to see more Far From Home, I definitely recommend you guys check it out. For most of the rest of you, I honestly just say either just skip it or just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. That's what I gotta say on that front. So overall, I would still give my final verdict the same I gave the original, so 10 out of 10. Still my favorite MCU movie. I love the soundtrack. I love that the stuff with Mysterio is without a doubt my best part of the movie, where we see Mysterio kind of put Peter through these illusions, and the whole scene where Peter closes his eyes, just lets his spider sense take over when he has to face off against when he has this final showdown with Mysterio. Those without my favorite parts of the movie. I loved those. Also, one thing I was going to mention, which I agree with Alice, I don't like how they went full CGI with the suit, with the Far From Home suit around the end of the movie, because you could tell it's CGI, because you could see what the practical suit looks like, and my god, the practical suit is a masterpiece. It still looks fine CGI, but just the colors don't really look that good, and overall, upon seeing view, I didn't really like it as much, because I was looking at it and I was like, man, yeah, this is CGI, and I don't really like it as much as the practical version of the suit, because the practical version of the suit just looks, it's a fucking masterpiece. Why would you touch that? Why would you mess with that? I agree with Alex on that one. But yeah, that's about it. That's about all I gotta say from the Formula 7 cut. I still love the movie. I still love Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man, and there's not really much more I can add to this movie other than I'm just hopeful that Spider-Man stays in the MCU, because I'm loving what Kevin Feige has done with Peter, and I like that he's been growing. Because same thing would happen with Izuku. I didn't want Peter and Izuku to say the same thing as they were back when they were in Far From Home, as well as Season 1. Deku, Izuku being this massive fire boy from All Might, he can't control power, he just wants to be him, trying so desperate to be like him. Same thing with Peter, constantly referencing Star Wars, trying to fill up for Tony Stark, as well as all that other stuff. I like how they have had both of them in, Izuku in Season 2, second half of Season 2, as well as going on Season 3, and I'm sure they're going to keep going with that in Season 4 when that airs in October. Peter with how he was in here. I like how they deviate, not so much trying to copy the mentor, but trying to get out of their shadows and be their own person. So yeah, that's about it, I gotta say, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag in the links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
You